Hey, hey, good morning. Good morning. Now, this is going to be interesting, and this is actually a coaching lesson. Oh, what did I just do there? Weird. This is like a coaching thing from my own life. Here, I always like to have like this, not between two ferns, but give me a little bit of, maybe I'll get a fake greenery behind me, okay? So good morning. Good morning. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday. Wow, August 31st. Kat Roby, I just saw your message as I logged on. Now, here's an interesting thing. So, thank you for sending me the message. Here's the importance of when you make a plan to write it down and then also to check on it. Now, I can't do that because I literally, in my head, thought the whole time that I was going on TikTok Live today at 9 a.m. I even said to my husband this morning, I'm like, oh, this is so great. Last night, it's like, I don't have to do anything till like 9 o'clock. So I will double check what I said if I showed up at the wrong time based on what I had done. Okay, see, okay, interesting. That one persona said 8-2. You guys, my bad, but my humanity. Okay, I have it written down. I'm gonna backtrack and see where the disconnect is. I think the disconnect is honestly, it could be just up here that I thought in my head that when I wrote it down. But here I am. Here I am, and thank you for worrying about me, that one persona and Kat. I really appreciate it. It was a total human error, as you have done and I have done. Okay, and Bianca did say 8 o'clock. Okay, you know what, you guys? My bad. The funny thing is, I was up at 8. I was walking around. I was having a good time because in my head. And this is the thing. Now, I had it written down, but when you rely just on your head and you don't double check what you wrote down, sometimes there's a disconnect. Okay, yeah, yeah, no, keyboard malfunction, no, you know what it was? It was just, I had a really busy day yesterday, and when I turned the page on my, my daily road maps, PK says I do it all the time. Yeah, I try not to. I try to be very good with my word, but also, I am human, and you are too, so this is cool. You're noticing that I'm not like some fake AI-generated thing that gets on at the right time. But I just kind of glanced at today and I saw literally like one block of stuff I had to do, which I enjoy, which is this TikTok Live. And the rest of the day is kind of nebulous. So I looked at it and my brain said 9, and who knows, maybe I wrote it down at 9. All good. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me grace as being a human, but I'm here with you guys now. I will though. Here's the thing, and I want to share this with you as a teachable moment. As I feel like my entire life is. It's like learn from me what to do and what not to do. I'm going to go back then and triple check because I just added some times and dates for dates further along on the place where the folks on the Destination Decluttered mailing list know where to look for the schedule for these TikTok lives. And I'm just going to use this opportunity to just kind of, cross my I's and dot my T's. No. Cross my T's and dot my I's, to ensure that I do not overpromise and mistakenly underprovide, right? So yeah, so glad we're here now. Next week, Friday is 9. Maybe that was stuck in my brain. Yeah, you know what? I love this gray matter up here. It does wonderful things, but this is why I write stuff down, because I do need multiple places to remind me to do things that left to my own devices I may not, I don't know. That's why we have alarm clocks. That's why we have to-do lists. So I could then also spend this day, but I say this next, these few minutes here, teachable moments. Shit's going to happen. How are you going to deal with it? Things are not going to be perfect moving forward. Decluttering. Let's wrap it into decluttering. Things may not work out as expected. You may screw up. You may inadvertently or vertently donate something that you later say, you know what, I wish I had kind of saved that thing. It kind of is going to happen. Okay, thank you so much. You see, I love this. We're all humans, and thank you for caring about me and getting concerned when I'm not there. That's cool. I truly appreciate that, because it means that we're all looking out after each other. We're not just in this alone. So, now I love this. Kat Roby says, getting better all the time. I feel like I should have my Beatles mug, or actually my husband's Beatle mug. But anyhow, here we are now. All right. All right. Elle's words. I'm howling. Oh, just wait. I got a million of them. Good morning. So here we are at 9 a.m. Okay. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. And I was thinking about it today, the amount of travel and the amount of road trips I've taken and written about in my decades, both professionally and personally. This is why I call it Destination Decluttering. Okay. So Eliza, so I show up on TikTok. I also do one-on-one coaching, and I have a free mailing list. DestinationDecluttered.com is my website that you can look at that and sign up for a consultation or to join the mailing list, or do both. Or like my place on TikTok, whatever. You do you, okay? I just give you the information, and it's up to you to do the things that you think are going to help you. Now, I show up on do these TikTok lives to help you, and so if you have a question about clutter or maybe a celebration or a tip or anything, put it in the comments, and what I do is I tend to read them back so people have context. This is for two reasons. This is for the folks that are listening to me live right now and are puttering around the house, maybe getting ready for work, maybe doing some dishes, like kind of that surface level clutter or surface level just, doing your day. This is also because my TikTok lives are, I record them, well, TikTok does, and then I upload them to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. This is so when I travel, which I do quite often, is there's something available to you so you're not like left high and dry. Now, the one thing you may notice if you're not on the Destination Decluttered mailing list, if you go to Destination Decluttered on YouTube, you will only see the most recent TikToks you will see are going to be July. And that's because I like to give the people on the mailing list cool stuff because they gave me their email list, their email address. So I say thank you by saying, hey, here's the secret link to go see the recordings from August. So if that sounds like if you want to be the one to get things first, kind of be in the members only club, sign up for my mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. Okay, enough of the info and commercial. Eliza is saying, I have a big decluttering weekend coming up and I'm hoping I can get rid of things. Okay, I love hope. Okay, I love hope, but you can make it happen, Eliza. You can. So what I would offer to you is hoping and wishing and praying and all that good stuff is all good, but you are the one to take that hope, or as this is my Gen X 80s brain, you can take that dream and put it into action like Howard Jones. Okay? Throw off those mental chains. And I say this to you because you can do it. If there's something bugging you, do something about it. You can do something about it. So, and what I want to offer to you is, and Eliza, and it sounds Kate Roby, the weekend tends to be when, for those of us, because even though I work for myself, I pretty much work 9 to 5, not 9 to 5, like Monday through Friday-esque. And so the weekends have a different energy, a different flavor, a different flow than the Monday through Fridays. And if you work during the week, we often say, I can't do anything during the week because I'm exhausted or whatever, but come the weekend, as I like to say, I'm going to kick the world's ass. I'm going to get so much done this weekend. It's going to be awesome, blah, blah, blah. Always good to have that energy, but have a plan to back it up. And also, take this into consideration. Everybody, when you're making your plan, whether it's road mapping your day or road mapping your weekend, I was thinking about this on my walk this morning, is two things. One is take into account your energy level and your, both in your physical energy and your kind of mental capacity energy. Do the best you can to start your road trip on every day with a full tank of gas, with enough windshield wiper fluid, with clear windows and all the things. Do all the things in yourself to make it so when you're starting out the day, you're feeling the best you can. Okay? And if you can't, notice this, because I can see this, the comments. Eliza is saying, I just feel paralyzed. Okay. Paralyzed is a legit feeling, okay? But here's the deal. I'm paralyzed. There are legit people in the world that can't move anything. They are paralyzed. No, your brain is causing yourself to feel stuck. But what I want to offer is you can do something about that. Turn on some music and move your body. Shake your body down to the ground. But calming down your nervous system. Your nervous system tends to be, your thoughts tend to make you feel paralyzed. Eliza, you don't have to answer it in the comments, but just answer this yourself and everybody. take a beat and just give me a beat. Take a beat and say, how am I feeling kind of energetically? Am I feeling optimistic and can do and looking forward? Or am I feeling kind of stuck and I don't know what to do? If you're not feeling good in here, calm down your nervous system. Breathe down oxygen into the bottom, down to the bottom of your lungs. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your exhale. Soften and melt down all your muscles. Quiet down your voice. Slow down how you're speaking to yourself. Move your hands down like this. Remind yourself you can do something about it. Quiet down that voice that says you're paralyzed, that I can't do something about it. Even doing this has barely been 10 seconds I'm doing this. I am feeling a difference in my body. If you're doing this, maybe you are too, or maybe you're just feeling it because this is what I'm saying. Like, ooh, I'm hypnotizing you. Notice the difference. Somatic exercises, yes, that's what they call it, somatic exercises too. You can soften your gaze, you can move your body, you can pound your chest, you can wriggle the stuff that's tight, you can shrug off the energies, you can do all sorts of things to make you feel better. And when you feel better, you're gonna do better. So you are not technically paralyzed, but your brain is giving you a message that's causing you to feel that way. You can change that though. And when you feel better and you're not feeling as paralyzed, grab your pen, since you're no longer paralyzed, and write down some things you're going to get rid of. Notice also the words you use in your mouth and in your head make a difference. I wish I could get rid of that bureau that I don't like. I hope I can get rid of that bureau I don't like. I'm gonna get rid of that bureau I don't like. Change the word, change the energy, has a different flavor, doesn't it? Okay? So, you can do these things. Adelia is saying, I love going to yoga before I start a cleaning project. It's so motivating and my head is clear. Yeah. When it feels better up here and it feels better in here, you're gonna do better out at the end of your fingertips. Okay? Now, Lulu is saying, I decluttered my closet and bagged up seven bags. Second thoughts are sneaking in. Hey, you did good. You're like, check me out, 7 bags. What if I need it? What if you got rid of something you might want to wear lately? Yeah, don't let them sneak in. Close that door. Say, shh, it's all good. I choose to believe. This is one of the sayings I use all the time, so I'll share it with you. I choose to believe that whatever I put in that Goodwill bag is going to serve somebody else and I'll be okay without it. I'll share this with you, you guys. No lie. Usually when we declutter clothing, we will declutter kind of from the oldest to the newest to be like, oh, I haven't worn that in so long, I'm probably not going to wear it. This week, put in some clothing that I purchased within the last 3 months. Now, I did this because I bought the clothing and then I wore it, and I realized, like, this one dress that was kind of a sundress I thought I'd throw on over my bathing suit because it matched that thing that I had, the big towel. And I realized that the cut of it, I hadn't tried it on, I'll be honest with you. I hadn't tried it on, and honestly, the only reason I bought it was because I had a 50% off coupon because I bought the big towel-y thing. I was like, oh, I can't miss a deal. I'll go buy this. So I wore it, and I was like, I don't like the cut. I don't like the cut of this jib. So I wore it a couple of times, and then when I saw it in my thing, I was like, you know what? I don't want that anymore. Another one is I wore, and I bought it, and again, lesson learned for me as I didn't try it on. It fit me, but it felt a little big. I felt a little dumpy in it. And so I was like, I don't want to walk around feeling dumpy. Yeah, it fits on my body, but maybe there's a smaller size that would still fit me and make me feel less dumpy. And so I have recently put clothing in. Did I kind of regret it? I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. This is new stuff. And I choose to believe that stuff is going to look stunning on somebody else. It just wasn't working for me. So don't allow the backseat drivers to sneak in and make you feel not good about your choices. Feel good about your choices. And feel good about them at the time that you're making them, and continue to hold on tight to your dream. To being like, yeah, that was a good thing I did. you know? So notice these things you can do. Okay, you can make yourself feel better in your body and in your brain. And doing that before, during, and after the decluttering is paramount. Notice, this is an after declutter thing. Shh, quieten it down. Before you declutter, shh, quiet it down. During the decluttering, as you're doing it, don't get rid of that. You're doing this is too much. Before, during, and after, check in with your bod and make yourself feel good. Okay? Notice this stuff. Okay? All right, I'm catching up on things. Kara, hey, morning, Kara. Was overwhelmed yesterday, but told myself those were just thoughts. Today, I'm taking action. Yes. Every day is a different day. Every day, we're going to feel a little bit different from the next. It depends on what we ate yesterday, what we did yesterday, how we slept last night, how, I don't know. Sometimes I randomly wake up with a headache. I have had migraines for years, and no matter what's going on, sometimes I'm like, maybe it's just the way I had my head on the pillow. Check out where you are today and plan accordingly. But notice what Kara did. She felt overwhelmed, but then her co-pilot voice, instead of, I'm overwhelmed, your backseat driver, this is too much. Your co-pilot was still with you saying, you know what, those are just thoughts. Those are just thoughts. And sometimes what we do to make ourselves feel better doesn't have an immediate gratification impact, but you planted a seed. Now, I am no green thumb, and this is funny because Kara is a total green thumb. I have fake plants. Hello, I'm a fake plant. I have fake plants, and I am cool with it, but I plant seeds to grow cool stuff all the time, and growing cool stuff in my life. So sometimes you will plant a seed, and it may not bloom for a while. This is what I consider me going down the street and doing some workouts and stuff like that. Am I seeing immediate results right after I do the workout? No. But am I feeling it a few days later when I'm feeling a bit stronger? Maybe I'm feeling the achy breakies. But notice what you're doing may not have an immediate gratification. That's okay. Things will grow at the pace that they're meant to. Okay? Now, B. Rizzy said, it's quick stuff. Make your bed, wipe off your countertops, easy things that make you feel good. Yeah. Danielle says, I like that big towel hoodie. I like that big towel hoodie too. I am hoping. Okay, seriously, you guys? Planting seeds. This is me. I wrote down literally. This is a little bit sneaky and it's fine. I would totally say it to my friends' face. I tend to wear this. I bought this thing that's like pretty much wearing a gigantic beach towel. It's got a pocket for my phone and my hands, and it's got a little hood. I bought it when we were in Hawaii a few months back, and I wear it to our friends who have a pool. I wear it over there, over my bathing suit, and then I can also take my bathing suit on after and still be wearing something, so I'm not always sitting around in a wet bathing suit. I literally wrote, plant a seed about having a Sunday fun day this week to our friends with a pool. That's on my list of things to do. Hey, any chance we could have a Sunday fun day? Plant the seeds for things you want to grow. So we'll see. I will check in with you. And here's the fun thing. If that blooms, awesome. If it doesn't bloom, no harm in trying. As I like to say, can't hurt, might help. Can't hurt, might help. If they don't know we want to come over and use their pool, they may not offer it. Now, they're really generous. They're like, oh my God, you guys never have to ask. You can come over and use the pool all the time. Because we have awesome friends. Plant seeds for what you want to grow in your life. Okay? And the stuff you don't want to grow, pull it out. Pull it out like a weed. And if it comes back, pull it out again. And we have weeds that come up all the time. I literally had to also, on the same list of things to do, planting the seed to go on Sunday and go on the pool, but also I wrote down to myself, pull the weeds out of this side garden. Now they're green, and me, I'm like, yeah, they're green, they're fine, it doesn't matter. A weed is just a strong plant with a bad PR team. But I will pull those out because I just want the hosta to grow. Okay? All right, so Lulu is saying, I don't have any problems with those. It's the ones that I have loved but don't fit. Yeah, sometimes we don't fit in stuff. You have loved it. That's okay. You loved that. You may still love it, but does it fit on your bod? Now, clothing is a fun thing because it straddles two, I feel like the little shaka thing, it straddles two worlds. It can be purely functional. It is covering my naked body. Thank the Lord, it's covering my naked body. But it also tells you a story that makes you feel a feeling. I loved that. Remember all the good times I had wearing that dress? I have a few dresses still. You know what? I may actually, honestly, there's one dress. I have a great picture. Talk about our friends with the pool. I have a great picture of us and them and another couple on a roof deck. What do you call it? Like bar restaurant, where we had a wonderful dinner and had a great time. And it was a group photo, and it was the golden hour. We all look awesome. So the neat thing is I have a picture of myself looking good and feeling good in that dress. I no longer fit in that dress. Do I need that dress anymore to remind me of it? No, because I have a picture. So here's the thing. If you have clothing that you love, make sure you get a picture of yourself in it. Okay? Yeah. Get a picture of yourself. Remember when you looked good and young and felt good in your clothes. Okay? And Eliza, you're welcome for the thoughts about the ones unparalyzing your brain. It's paramount. It is so important for all of us because our brain and our heads and our hearts are what can keep us stuck. Being stuck is no fun. Being stuck is different from choosing to pull over and chill out on the side of the road and enjoy the view. When you want to get going and you can't and your wheels are spinning in the mud, that's stuck. Being stuck is no fun. Choosing to chill and be like, I'm just going to chill here for a while and enjoy the view and eat my sandwich. That's different. You choose to whether you stop or not. But if you are stuck, you can do something about it. Empower yourself and know if something bugs you, don't complain, do something about it. The complaint is valuable information because a complaint is indicating something that bugs you. Okay? Now here's an interesting thing. Abbott Elementary said, yesterday I was happy I hadn't cut tags off of a top because I realized I didn't love it and I could return it. Yeah, notice those things. Okay? All right, I'm backing up. All right, here we go. We got some good stuff. And I apologize if you can hear it. I live in suburbia, and one of my neighbors is always working on his yard. Hosta, you are a plant person. No, the hosta is stuff that used to be grown in the front yard. I didn't want to throw it away when we moved it, and so we planted it to the side, and it pretty much just grows itself. The funny thing is something, I believe deer came around and ate all the leaves off of it this year, and so all we have are these little stalks, but it's going to make it easier for me to find the, it's making it easier for me to find the weeds because the leaves aren't in the way. So this is cool. Michelle says, I cleaned enough yesterday to fill my SUV and still have more to donate. Awesome. Do that. Donate some stuff this week. Everybody. I donated some stuff earlier this week. You know what I'm going to do this week? And this is kind of a public declaration. You guys know that I am not a fan of owning a shredder and shredding. I don't want to spend my time doing that. Hosta is deer candy. Yep, total deer. I have indicated in previous years what has worked for me, and I share this with you because this might be valuable to you. I have shared with you that I do not enjoy shredding, but there's certain paperwork that I have that I will feel more comfortable in my nervous system if it is shredded versus just put in my recycle bin. A lot of it, frankly, is stuff with maybe personal information that when I was helping my mother declutter, it's a lot of her paperwork, and I don't feel like going through it piecemeal and throwing it down there. Now, last year, actually, it worked out really easily for me to look up online to see if there was a public shredding event that I could just drive to and dump some bags off. So I did that last year. This year, I have Googled that a couple of times, and either something already happened or nothing happened in our county or town, or I missed it when it happened. But here's the deal. I said, okay, that plan isn't working. What else can I do? I still don't want to buy a shredder and do it. And I learned that the UPS stores and Kinko's, you can bring stuff to get shredded, and you may have to pay a couple of shekels a pound, a couple of nickels a pound, but I'm going to do that this weekend. I will share with you how it goes, and here's the interesting thing. I can wait to do it for free, or I can pay, I don't know, it's going to be 20 bucks, 40 bucks, whatever, to just get it done and not have it just sitting there in a pile. It's worth it to me right now to spend the money and just get it done with. So notice what you're waiting to do for free and notice what you could pay some money to help you get it done quicker. Okay? Now, that's probably an easy transition for me to say, hey, I do paid decluttering life coaching one-on-one. So if you want to be my client, you want me to be your coach, you can pay me. That's one of the many ways that you can do that. But think about where you are living a life of clutter versus just investing the time, investing the money, so you're not living like that anymore. Yeah, now most corporate offices gave shred bins. Yeah, you can also ask your bank. Yeah, I could ask my bank. Good idea, else. Maybe I'll do that. I have this cute little bank. Oh my God, it's like something out of the 1950s. I literally walk in, you see the ladies or the people at the counter, it's not always ladies, the little tellers behind the thing, and I have like, it's you fill out your deposit slips in like duplicate and triplicate. It's like back in the day. I went to a more modern bank once because we were going to get a good like yield for a few amounts, and I was like, what do I even do? Where are the papers? And they're like, oh no, you just do this. It's funny. So I'll ask Mary at the bank. Thank you. Okay. I love it. Heather is saying, I had a big box and it was under $10 at Office Max. Yeah. So I will discuss, that's going to be one of the things that's on my roadmap for this weekend for me to also work on my clutter. Okay. So what's on your roadmap for this weekend? Now, this was something I was playing with, doing like a TikTok video when I was walking this morning, but then the sun was in my face and I haven't showered, and I want to feel better when I do a video. But what I love it. Linda's going through her papers as we speak. Rock on, lady. But what I want to offer to you is this. Every day is a road trip. If you were on a road trip, you would get up in the morning, you'd sit there with your coffee, and you'd look at your map. Where do I want to be from this morning to the end of the day? How far do I want to drive? What stops do I want to make? How fast do I want to go? Where am I going to stop for lunch? Plan the stuff you have to do and should do, but don't make that your whole journey. That's a commute. That is not a road trip. A road trip, by definition, at least my definition, includes a wicked lot of fun, a wicked lot of breaks, an enjoyable pace you're moving through the day. So I do this, and I was sharing with a client this practical toolkit that I use of mapping my day. And I walked, the client and I did this yesterday for her because she had no plan at all. And she's like, yeah, I have all this time, but I don't get stuff done. I said, let's roadmap it. And I did that myself. And I have 2 highlighters that I use because I roadmap my stuff paper-wise. I have a highlighter for kind of work, stuff I should do, and, TikTok lives, consultations, coaching, stuff like that there, as I like to say. And then I have a color for quality of life. Quality of life. What are you doing today? What have you planned today to increase or maintain, if you have an awesome life, increase your quality of life? If you haven't, I suggest you get a pen out and write down some things you could do today, Saturday, Sunday, lather, rinse, repeat. Every day, make sure you include something that gives you a good quality of life. All right? So, what do we got here? All right, Jeannie loves shredding. You go for it. I'll bring you my shredding. You can do it for you. All of us have different things we like to do. I mean, notice, you guys, I enjoy decluttering. That's why I'm a decluttering life coach. That's why I show up pretty much every day and do a TikTok live. This is why I do one-on-one coaching. So some people may say, I can't believe you like to declutter, but there are parts of the process I like I like less than others. There are certain things that I get to that other people are like, oh, I love that. I love the feeling of creating order out of chaos because I grew up in a chaotic, paper-piley, decluttered household, and that did not feel good. To not be able to find stuff and to be feeling bad when I never would invite people over, kids over to see because the house was such a mess. And I'll never forget this one time I invited somebody over because he needed help with schoolwork, and I was kind of tutoring him, and he literally came in, and this is high school or whatever, but he's like, why didn't you clean up before I came? Asshole. Regardless, I like the feeling of order versus chaos, probably because where I came from. Now, maybe you're the flip side. Maybe you grew up in an orderly, very, tight, strict household, And then you're like, growing up, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do whatever I want. And then the clutter piles up, you know? Yeah. Oh, I love it. Elle's words. Thank you. UPS has pay to shred a pound and get a pound free right now. Now, I don't want a pound free right here. I got plenty of these. But man, I'm going to totally be looking that up. Thank you. See, this is the cool thing, you guys. We're not in this alone. I struggle with something. You have an idea. You struggle with something. I have an idea. We are all in this together. And my suggestions may help you, and your suggestions may help me. And the neat thing is because I'm kind of a hub, actually my hubs is in there, but I am a hub, is you can give me that, and then I can spread it out to everybody else if I just share the information. Notice how we're helping each other to make our lives better. It's really a good feeling, okay? Danielle says, I'd like to work on my art area in my basement and organize some of the supplies and bins down there. Awesome, do it. Danielle, this is what I do. I get a piece of paper. It's in my, speaking of sales, I will share this with you. The book that I use, I don't sell you an expensive, fancy notebook, yada, yada. No. Why get something fancy if something simple can get it done? This is my approach. I use a spiral-bound, lined, college-ruled notebook from Staples to run my life, and a Google Calendar. And I say this because those notebooks are currently on sale at Staples for 35 cents a piece. Now notice, that is a small investment, but man, can it change your life. So what I say, Danielle, is, but I'm also going to a base. Okay, so you've got some stuff going on. You can do the both. No, this is how the way I teach how to kind of manage your time on a daily basis. But that sounds really boring, so I call it road mapping. You can do something and you can do another thing. You can do the both. Instead of or, it's and. Conjunction, junction, and button or will get you pretty far. Conjunction, junction, how's that function? Instead of saying I can do this or that, how about I can do this and that? Now, it depends on, obviously, then there's the, little bit more details. But sometimes when we have something written on that one big block on our calendar, get a myomogram, our brain thinks that it fills up the entire day. But when you look at your day and it's got the hours from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., you can say, oh, you know what? That's really only going to take me 2 hours here. And then on the top and bottom, I have a lot of time. It changes the way your brain thinks about your day. Okay? Laura Gibbons Voorhees says, I'm trying to get back in the habit of bringing stuff to the thrift and commission shops. Okay. What's an easy way for you to get back in the habit again? Okay. How can you get back in the habit again? Instead of trying, what can you do? Can you put on your calendar for tomorrow a certain day and a certain time? A specific day and a specific time can do wonders. Schedule tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm going to drive whatever I have to the thrift store or the commission shop. You can do something about it. Barbara says, students start back on Monday. More classrooms set up today and decluttering home and prepping for the weekend. Yeah, last year I worked with a lot of teachers. I have such good vibes for you guys, but you've got a lot of stuff going on. Okay? All right, here we go. There we go. Elle says, your town offers shredding. That's rockin'. I love it. Laura has a bin set aside for collecting items. Okay. Okay. Sia says, I'm stumped again. Now because messes were made, and that throws my brain off for decluttering. Okay. Here's the thing. A mess is pretty much like surface clutter. I know myself, if I'm to get into if I'm to get in the zone and actually really focus and use my brain, I have had the habit. I remember being called out on this when I was in college of needing to find a clear space. So that's okay. Sia, clear the mess in a good way, because a mess is also decluttering. When you're cleaning up a mess, that is also decluttering. You're putting things back. You're moving clutter from the surfaces. You're decluttering things. You're moving things to another place so that you feel better, so you can do better. There's nothing wrong with that. Life is going to be full of messes. Think about making a meal, how messy the kitchen gets, but then you clean it up. You don't say, shit, it's all messy. What am I to do? No, you clean it up. You have something you want to get done, so you make a mess and you clean it up. You make a mess, you create the item, and then you clean it up. Okay? All right. Josephine is saying, pay my bills to get out of debt. Yeah. So I know how much money I have left. Yes, please pay your bills to get out of debt. Debt is a sucky feeling. It is. Debt is the fear of not having money, and the fear that money generates can shut you down completely. I really had to work on, as they say in the biz, my money mindset when what I was doing was not working. And I just had to have faith and tenacity and not start to freak out about the money, because if I freaked out about the money, I would have jumped back into a job I hated just for that secure feeling of money, but knowing that long term that was just going to drain me. But yes, notice when you're feeling lack, it can get you into a tailspin. Paying your bills and feeling good about paying your bills. Look at me. And also learning to, however you can, to kind of not get into debt again. Okay? All right. I hate the feeling of being cluttered, and yet I still have chaos. Yeah. I mean, I will be honest with you. I have worked on my clutter for years. I am within the 98th percentile of being kind of done with it. I am down to a tiny table down the basement. I am down to a few totes that I'm working on this weekend of family photos. Like, talk about surface stored sentimental. And I also know that I have at least 25 very small organized boxes of paper ephemera that I have saved for 25 years down the basement, but I am good with that. It takes a while. Okay? It takes a while. That's why it's so important to enjoy the process. If you know it's going to take a while and it's going to feel crappy every day, you're not going to show up and do it. But if you're like, this is a really long, luxurious journey across the United States, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to enjoy it. Take your time. Do it right. We can do it, baby. My stylist, I don't know what Phil would want to call him. My hair guy and I were kind of grooving to that today, and the girl next to us was laughing, and it was like, it's a Gen X thing, you know? Very funny. All right. So Heather Diem says, I have to clean my desk this weekend. It's a corner L. My desk is too. And there's a small mountain range. I love it. So you know what? You can dismantle the mountains. I suggest always categorizing your stuff so you know how big certain mountains are. Oh, there's the bills. Oh, there's the stuff I need to file. There's the stuff I need to recycle. There's the stuff, yada, yada. Heather, I will say this. I struggle to make maintenance of desk and papers fun. You just haven't hung around with me long enough. You know how I make it fun is I make it so simple that it takes barely 60 seconds to do anything, and then it's just in the rearview mirror. Letting it pile up makes it unfun. So this is how decluttering works, and it's so funny because I find myself putting my mug down so I can get my body involved. Decluttering, the way I coach, is two parts. First of all is noticing the stuff that you have accumulated from your past, the stuff that your process currently is to pile this stuff up and to save things, okay? So you have a quantity of stuff that is from the past. You didn't make it today, it's from the past. The first step that we always think, and sometimes the only thing we think there's one step of decluttering, which is to knock down that stuff. Yes, that's part of it, and that's very important. But the other way that I do it, and I coach so this is sustainable, so it doesn't pile up again, is between the two piles is noticing your habits and changing your habits, and noticing your habits and changing your habits, so that instead of being in the habit of saying, well, I knocked it down, I'm going to pile it up again. I knocked down, I pile up again. No. Is you say, I knocked it down and I did something different this time so it doesn't pile up. It's great to be able to be like, nope, that's good. Okay, paid the bill, good. Boom, I'm done. I don't want piles of paper. I hate piles of paper. I grew up with piles of paper. I am going to my parents' house in a couple of weeks, and I know I'm going to go up in the attic. And I did a good job in the attic when I was up there in April, and then it got too hot. And now when I go back there, I know there's a corner that I was feeling so good, and I looked, and I was like, I didn't see that stuff in the corner. But I was exhausted. My tank was empty, and I said, no. I am not doing that just to get it done. But when I go back up there, I'm going to have renewed energy. Okay? So, knock down the piles and notice your habits and change them on your own. Or if you want me to be your coach, here I am. Okay? Yeah, I'm in a great mood today, probably because I don't have a lot on my plate. I get to choose what I do today. And also, I had a headache and I took some Excedrin and it has caffeine in it. All right, so where are we now? All right, Morgan Ray says only 4 days to get the rest of my house, my kids' room done for school. Each room is half done. Okay, yeah. Notice the half done. Half done is really fascinating because the more I coach, the more I see this. You're ever on a road where you're driving straight and then you get to a fork in the road, but then there's something happening, not even a fork, like a T in the road. You want to keep moving forward, but then there's something scary in the road. So instead of moving through it, you take a right or a left. That's when we tend to abandon decluttering. When it tends to get tough, instead of moving through the tough stuff, we tend to take a right or a left. We don't move forward. So just notice that. Okay? But Morgan Ray, I say this to you strategically. I'm all about strategy. Is saying, okay, I got 4 days. Before I even start moving forward, what do I want to accomplish? What is a realistic thing that I can feel good about accomplishing by the end of those 4 days? That isn't getting it all done, because getting it all done may not happen in 4 days. You have a limited amount of time. You have a limited amount of energy, both physical and mental. So given the time and energy you have, what are some things you could do that by 4 days from now, you're feeling good about what you did instead of beating yourself up for what you didn't? Okay? So notice that. All right? Triple G28, do you work with small business owners? Yes, I do. I do. Because it's the same kind of process. It's kind of a little bit less. Here's the interesting thing. To me, when I work with small business owners, it's slightly less sentimental clutter, but it's still a lot of stories in your head that cause you to do certain things. So yeah, totally. I do, actually. It's really neat. I am starting with, I don't want to give away to, I never share personal information, but I am psyched because I am working with a small business owner that owns a dance studio. And boy, because I speak in an analogy and metaphor, and this is like that, like I'm always talking myself because my metaphor is driving and, travel and road tripping. But I love switching metaphors and speaking the language she knows, talking about routines and practicing a step and not getting frustrated and trying again. And then saying, what's the end of what do you want your recital to look like and how you break that down. So yeah, get in touch with me. Okay. Danielle says, I procrastinate dishes every time when I don't do them. I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. Remind yourself the next time you look at the dishes, it wasn't that bad. But also, here's an interesting thing. Mail and dishes, I see mail is the worst. Oh, you guys, I feel so bad for mail. It gets such a bad rap. The mail isn't the problem. And not that there's a problem. You have a process that you use to process your mail that isn't giving you the result you want. You have a process that's not efficient. It's not giving you the result you want. I love my process-oriented brain. Use it. Get me as your coach and you get this brain. Plus, a set of steak knives. But Danielle, here's an interesting thing. We were talking about dishes came up a lot this week with my one-on-one clients and during TikTok lives. And so I did a couple of videos about them. And I practiced what I preached this week. I said, instead of doing all the dishes and letting them pile up, notice, here's my hands again. I'm putting down my mug. Don't let them all pile up. Oh, that's too much. No, doing a little bit at a time. So this week, every time I used a dish, I was like, okay, I'm going to rinse it and put it in, rinse it, put it in. I was doing that last night. First of all, I really enjoyed the lack of dishes piling up in the sink. But then the other thing is that when I went to go put in my dish, I said, oh, hey, check this out. The dishwasher's almost full, so I ran the dishwasher last night. I felt good. It's like, oh, check it out. That was so easy. It was already full. And then this morning, probably after I get off this TikTok live, I will empty the dishwasher. And again, it's only going to take me 5 minutes to empty my dishwasher. You know how I know that? Because I timed myself. Because I was curious when I'm like, oh, it's going to take forever. That's my backseat driver. Oh, it's going to take forever. I hate it. No, not now. No, you know what? It only takes 5 minutes. And when it's done, I'm like, oh, great. It's not bugging me again. And because of process, now when we have dirty dishes, they don't pile up in the sink because the dishwasher's full. They can be put in the dishwasher again. Notice these things, okay? Alrighty. Beth is in a good mood every day. Not every day. I mean, trust me. I try to show up as my best self right here. Because if I showed up and was like, wah, you guys, I feel I feel kind of sucky. It's true. I have days that I wake up and I'm like, oh, I don't feel so good. But you know what I do? I treat myself with kindness. I plan my day accordingly, matching my energy, and I treat myself with love along the way. And then I start to feel better, and when I feel better, I do better. But honestly, helping people with clutter is something that does energize me, because I've got something that I want to share. I have discovered like this magic that has transformed my life, and I'm like, oh, you guys, this is so awesome. How can I share it with you? You want some? You want some? You want some? I am always a discoverer and a sharer and a creator of order out of chaos and a maker of cool stuff happening. Those are my MOs. So it excites me to think that I have something that I can share with you to help you feel better. Okay? So that's why I show up, and that's why I do one-on-one coaching. All right? There we go. Laura Gibbons Voorhees has given herself small assignments. Yep. All right. Brookie Baby, struggling with sentimental clutter. You're not alone, and check it out this weekend, because I have some free time that I want to do it. I am going through sentimental clutter myself. I'm going to be doing some TikTok live videos or TikTok videos about sentimental clutter. Specifically, I'm going to be working on my family tree and sentimental photographs. So you're going to learn from my experience. We all go through this. But remember, before you get to the sentimental, you know you struggle with the sentimental, so back it up. What can you do about your surface clutter? Are your surfaces looking good? Cool. Then go to your stored clutter. Is your stored clutter looking good? Awesome. Then you can deal with the sentimental, but don't start with the hard stuff first. You know what I mean? There you go. Dance, dance, dance the clutter away. I love it. All right. All right. So, oh, Christine, nice to see you. Christine is saying, Beth's one-on-one coaching is life-changing. Yeah, and it changes my life because I get the luck to work with some really awesome people. So thank you for saying that. All right. Now, we've got about 13 minutes left here. I'm catching up on things. Okay, Kate says, tips for motivation when my mind is as cluttered as my house. Yeah, close your eyes on your house and quiet down your brain. Yeah. Overwhelm, cluttered brain, decluttering. I work a lot on this with my clients, and a lot of it is getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. But even before you do that is calming down your nervous system. I just like to use the word down. Do I have it on this? No. Oh, I do, actually. I make a couple of mugs. So slow down. You move too fast. What's the next one? Breathe down. Work with your body. Calm, slow down, and even notice that you're feeling overwhelmed. Don't try to race forward when you're not feeling good. Just like in your car. Don't be speeding around, driving like a maniac. No. Slow down and pull over. Calm down. Breathe down, slow down, all the downs. Then, what I highly recommend is to make a plan. But before you make a plan, start with making a destination. What am I aiming for? What is this plan going to get me? If I work the plan works. That reminds me of a very dark time in my life when I worked in this awful retail company. But I digress. If you don't know why you're doing something, you may give up. If you know why you're doing it, but you're not psyched about why you're doing it, you're going to give up. So let's know that and work with that. Let's create a destination that you're excited to get to. Why do you want to declutter? What's in it for you? Write that stuff down. Okay? All right. Now, Rachel says, so just notice those things. Now, Rachel's saying, my son's chore is dishwasher, and things get behind. Okay. It's like I'm always letting him know, okay, time to go. This is a really interesting thing, because here's where process comes in. And notice, because I used to observe processes and kaizen them, as they would say back in the biz. I would see where things weren't working well and where they could work better. I'm always about making things better, and I mean better by easier, simpler, less drama, faster, all the things. You have a system with your son about the dishwasher, cleaning it, emptying it, and it gets behind. Notice behind is kind of a judgy word. You have an idea of when it should get done by, and that is not aligning with his, because if it did, there wouldn't be a problem. He also may be relying on your reminder to remind him to do it versus building his own kind of reminder system. It would behoove you to get in touch with him and say, okay, there's a disconnect here. I get pissed off, or I always say pissed off. I get pissed off because you're not emptying the dishwasher to my specifications. You're not doing it. There's a tension here. You're doing it your way, but this is the way I think it should be done, and there's tension. Okay? Come to an agreement. Maybe there's a different way. There is a better way to do it, because the better way wouldn't have stress at all. So maybe what you do is you say, this is how I always start things. What do I want to happen? Destination, what do I want to happen? I would like the dishwasher to be emptied by the end of business, whatever day the dishes are done. Okay, so when the dishwasher if there are any clean dishes in the dishwasher, if there's a day that there's clean dishes in the dishwasher, I want the dishwasher emptied before dinner that night. Something like that. Okay, that's my expectation. Okay, how can you meet that? Okay, you now have the responsibility to check to see if the dishes are clean or empty. Now, we have a thing that says open and closed on our dishwasher near it to indicate when it says closed, it means that the dishes are clean. That's my indication that I go empty the dishes. But notice what we've done. We've slowed down. We've calmed down. We've said, how do we want this to be different? What do I want to happen? And then we are going slowly and methodically through the steps of where it works and where it breaks down so that we can do something different at that juncture in the road to get to the destination we want. So notice these things. Yeah, Rach, I would say put sentimental stuff to the side because you haven't built up your decluttering muscles for it yet. It's like, to me, I always think about this as going to the gym. Start with the easy things first. I walk down the street a couple of times this week. I just started getting in the habit of it and do some weight training. I haven't done it in a while. I am out of shape. This is something I'm not used to doing. Maybe like you in decluttering. So what do? I start with light weights. I start with that so I'm doing something, but I don't hurt myself so much that I never show back up again. Start with the surface clutter. Then go to the stored clutter. If on the surfaces and in the storage you find sentimental items, temporarily put those to the side. Then, when you are good at maintaining your surfaces and your storage is good and you've built up the decision-making muscle that is required to declutter, decluttering is decision-making, then you are going to be so much more capable and confident in going through your sentimental paperwork or sentimental stuff. Okay? There we go. Yeah. Working on slowing down and calming down. I have to do it myself. When I'm not feeling good, simmer down now. There is nothing wrong here. Right now, when you and I are talking, there's nothing wrong. Our brain is afraid of the past and afraid of what might happen in the future. Okay? So, notice these things. All right, people? Yeah, and seriously, I talk from experience, you guys. We let the fear of doing the most worst thing stop us from even starting. Okay? Yeah, the Rach says, yes, the trainer had me doing big box jumps and they were so hard. Yeah, screw that. I would turn the box to the side or I would put my foot up. At my age, I am more confident in saying I am okay with not being what you think I should be. Here's where I am, but I'm going to show up and do something. And me showing up, and instead of jumping on the box, if I'm standing in front of the box and I put my foot and I maybe step on it while I'm doing it, I have calmed down my backseat drivers to not compare myself to anybody else. I encourage myself by saying I am showing up and doing what I can, and this is strengthening me. This is better than me doing nothing. Okay, but notice, yeah, you have an example of when it was too hard, you didn't show up again. This is why I coach you to, instead of all or nothing it, to break things down into little chunks that feel easy to do and are not painful. And this is strategic. It's so that the next day when you're on your road trip and you're waking up and you're further along, you wake up and say, oh, yesterday wasn't that bad. What did I do yesterday that worked? Let me map out today. Okay, today I'm waking up, instead of in Philly, I'm in Pittsburgh. I want to get to Columbus, Ohio, and it's going to take me, 4 hours, but I want to enjoy the journey. I don't want to just enjoy it when I get there. I also want to enjoy how I'm getting there. I want to feel good along the way. I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to bring some snacks. If I see something interesting on my map along the way, I'm going to pull over and see that giant Longaberger basket and take a picture. Oh, that's the place where they sell the pottery. Oh, that's the place I got the really good ice cream. I am going to take the time to enjoy myself, even if it means I get to my destination a few hours later than if I had just gone on the highway from A to B. I want you to enjoy the decluttering journey. If you don't want to enjoy it, that's fine. There are so many people out there that will tell you to just focus on the decluttering and not have fun. No. I say this to you on a Friday because the weekend is coming. When I get off of this call and after I empty the dishwasher, because it's going to take like 5 minutes, I'm going to sit down with my coffee and I'm going to sit down with my roadmap, my 35-cent notebook. I have a day for today and it starts at 6 a.m. and it ends at 9 p.m., but I rarely am doing anything of value then. But there's the sweet spot. And I'm going to say, okay, here's the amount of time I have, and I'm going to look, where do I want to go today? What do I want to do today that's going to get me to where I want to go to? The stuff I have to and want, the have-tos, the shoulds, yeah, I'm going to put those in there. But also, I'm going to put in the quality of life things. What's going to make me enjoy the journey? Those two colors, I want to see those every day on my calendar. And if they're not there, I'm going to make them there. And if anything, if there's a day that there's nothing that I have to do on it, I'm cool with that. But I never want to see a day where there's just stuff I have to do. If you're doing it that way, there's another way. Okay? You know? Yeah, so Dr. Amy is saying, I'm good at sorting, bad at figuring out where the sorted items should live. So one thing I want to help you with that, okay? Put them in a place that makes sense to your brain and your habits and routines. When you move into a house, you somewhat arbitrarily decide where things go. But I say this, Nurse RN, or Nurse Amy, Dr. Amy RN, sorry. You have things that you use in your daily business. The things you use most often should be within easy reach. That's why your silverware is in easy reach, but like, you know, your Christmas decorations are probably hidden somewhere because you don't use them all the time. You use them infrequently. Where's a place that would make it easy for you to get to it? Do you really want to store your spoons all the way up on the top shelf of a cabinet? No. Top shelves of cabinets are usually for things you use infrequently. Put the things you use within easy reach. Make a decision about that. Here's the fun thing, though. If you open up your door or your drawer where you might put something and you can't put something there, that means you've got to work on your stored clutter in order to find a place to store the things you've decided to keep. Notice the thing. We went from surfaced to stored. It happens. And figuring out is decision making. Where do I want to put this? What makes sense to me? Where do I want my scissors? Where do I want it? And again, I'm tooting, boop, boop, my own horn here. I'm really good at this because I have decades worth of experience. I used to be a process engineer, but also I used to be a visual merchandiser for retail. So making things easy to access so people bought stuff and grabbed the thing, that's how I merchandise my house. If it's something I use, it's in reach. If not, it's out of reach, but it's easy to get to and I know where it is. Okay? So notice these things. I love it. Julie decluttered her freezer while we're doing this live. Okay? Rockin'. Okay? Yeah, so Anastasia says, when I travel, I never stop, but when I see road signs, I say, hey, look, as I speed by. Yeah, I used to do that. Oh, someday I'll get there. Today is someday. Today is someday. Someday, some way. Make it happen. Slow down and make a plan to stop at Dinosaur Land. Slow down before you even drive to wherever. See what fun things could be in between those 2 points and stop at the fun stuff. You know? There we go. Beth in Pittsburgh. I was just talking about Pittsburgh. So like if I was going from Philly to Pittsburgh, I have a few stops. If I was going from Pittsburgh to Columbus, you know, if I was going through Pittsburgh, I'd be like, oh, check me out. I'm going to go to like, you know, the cool place that I want to go to in Pittsburgh. I'll go to the strip, you know, I'll get a fish sandwich. I'll get some pierogies. I'll go to a fish fry, right? All right. I'm going to back it up here. I see Erin. Yeah. Okay, my brain doesn't always remember where I put newly sorted stuff, even though it made sense at the time. Okay, there is nothing wrong with helping your brain remember that. temporarily putting post-it notes saying my underpants are in here, or don't forget I put the laundry detergent here. Don't expect your brain to get it right away. Help it. Write stuff down. This is where I put the thing. But this is why I say make it in a place that makes sense to you. If I were looking for my, jar of paper clips, where would I put them? Where would they go? Well, for me, they'd go with my office supplies. So let me look where my office supplies are. But it doesn't necessarily immediately go into the filing system. You have to give your brain a chance to let it sink in. Okay? Alrighty. Joy Ginger, I gotta sign off now, but thinking of getting rid of living room furniture, but scared I will be sorry. Ask yourself why you're scared. What are you afraid is going to happen? Write that stuff down. Okay? Now here's a fun thing. Yay, Linda finished her paper pile. There we go. Get rid of a few places instead of having less. I love it. Yeah, Josie decluttered her kitchen countertop yesterday. Rock on. Rock lobster, people. Okay, rock lobster. Now here's the deal. I goofed up and I didn't realize that I had written that I was showing up at 8 a.m. today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to sign off for today. I'm going to encourage you that if you want to know when I'm supposed to show up, the supposed to that I've committed to, sign up for my mailing list. It's free. It's so simple. You get the schedule. You get so much good stuff. DestinationDecluttered.com. You can sign up there. Also, if you want me to be your decluttering life coach during the fall, sign up for a consultation now. The way my calendar is going, I don't have a lot of consultation slots, so grab the ones that are there so we can get going. But also, if you're on the mailing list, you can email me and we can work out a consultation together. Okay? The last thing is, I will show up on some TikTok lives this weekend. I'm going to make sure I hold true to my word. But I want you to map out your day, today and tomorrow and the next day, using those two colors. The stuff I have to do and the stuff that adds the quality of my life. Okay, make sure both those colors are in there so you can enjoy the journey. All right? I will see you tomorrow, and I'm going to go inside. All right, bye.